So who's ready to go back to Pandora? Hey guys, it's Sean O'Connell, the managing editor at CinemaBlend, still in Las Vegas covering CinemaCon 2022, where today the Walt Disney Studios presented a slate of footage from their upcoming films. I want to focus right now on Avatar 2. This was the first look at James Cameron's highly anticipated sequel, and it's been years since we saw the first Avatar, so we were really curious to see how that footage was going to play. First off, I want to let you guys know that this was a teaser trailer that you're going to be able to see soon. It's going to be attached to theaters on May 6th, probably attached to most of the screening prints of Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness. We call that corporate synergy, friends. And then it's gonna be online a week later. So right now I'm just gonna describe to you what we saw and how it played. It's really short, honestly, for a teaser trailer, and I wouldn't be surprised if the footage that makes its way to theaters ends up being a lot longer. We knew that this was gonna be a very special panel that likely would include Avatar footage because on our way into the Coliseum, where the Disney panel was being held, we were all given state-of-the-art 3D glasses, and we know that James Cameron is working really hard to improve that tech, and so when the time came to watch the Avatar footage, those glasses really came in handy. The producer, John Lando, actually came out to describe the next few Avatar sequels and talked about the fact that each one of them is going to be a standalone movie that's going to have its own conclusion. So it's not like an interconnected story being told over multiple sequels, but he did talk about the fact that once all of them are out, that the 5 films will tell sort of an overarching saga. As for the footage, there wasn't a lot of activity to be shown, but it did show this emphasis on the family that has been created by Sam Worthington's character Jake, and then the member of the Na'vi who's played by Zoe Saldana. They have an adopted human son, which we're going to learn more about. We saw some threat that was happening, but it was a mix of the Na'vi and more of the military aspects. And the special effects of the 3D did look really, really good. An improvement over what we saw in Avatar, which was still cutting edge at the time. I think the biggest improvement that we saw from the footage was the underwater emphasis, which is why this sequel is going to be called Avatar: The Way of Water. The biggest one that stood out was a sequence that had Jake holding onto the fin of a whale as they swam through the water and headed towards the surface. Looked spectacular, felt like you were actually in the water with them, and the work that they are doing in order to make you feel immersed in that technology is really fantastic. But outside of that, the story elements that they presented to us were pretty thin. I didn't really get a sense of what this next movie is going to be about. So this one was an emphasis on the visuals and the 3D, which again, were really, really impressive. Comparing the visuals to the original film, which has been about 10 years ago now at this point, I'll tell you that they're better, but I can't say that they were significantly mind-blowingly better. And you know, it could just be where I was seated in this theater. The Coliseum's a massive space, and when we see the finished product, which is going to be coming out in December, it could be even more immersive than what we got to see at this point. It definitely looks better, it definitely looks improved, and especially the underwater stuff that looks seamless and really feels like you're flowing through the motion of the waves. But I can't say that it was like worlds better than what we've seen. So I think that James Cameron is still going to be tinkering on it before it gets to theaters in December. So if you want to see this for yourself, you have to make sure you head to theaters on May 6th. As I mentioned, the teaser trailer is going to be exclusive in theaters, likely attached to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. If you want to wait, it'll be online a week later, and then you can judge for yourself. But I think you should head to the theaters to see it in 3D, because this is the way that James Cameron really wants this material to be processed. He's all about the theatrical experience. He's all about getting people back into cinemas to see the footage the way that he has it. And that's what you're going to get from Avatar: The Way of Water when it hits theaters in December.